Hi everyone, this is Brendan and this is our presentation for Operations Management. My team consists of Joshua, Maven and Pingting. For our project, we will be covering on the introduction for LeCharco, the operation management issues we face, the solutions we recommend, and lastly, the references we use for this project. Our team has chosen LeCharco Group for our project. Here is a brief introduction on LeCharco Group. They are a global logistics provider which provide logistics solutions such as sea and air freight and many other logistic services to their partners. LeCharco uses traditional methods as well as new innovations to provide the best services to their customers. From our research on LeCharco, we have found a few operation management issues that LeCharco is facing now due to the pandemic. Firstly, LeCharco is facing a shortage of containers due to the lack of containers worldwide. Secondly, LeCharco is facing a lack of manpower in their warehouse operations. Lastly, LeCharco is facing a delay in the payment from their customers. For the first and second issue that LeCharco faced, it is an issue that has surfaced globally. This issue has disrupted LeCharco's daily operations. It also has an impact on human resources and the company's finance. In the next few slides, our team will cover the cause and impact of each issue and how it has affected LeCharco in different ways. Maven and Pingting will be elaborating on the three issues mentioned above over the next few slides.
The problem with the lack of container available worldwide arises when COVID became a widespread issue. Measures taken to curb COVID-19 hence resulted in the implementation of a lockdown. Most services such as beauty were banned, excluding essential services such as food establishments, healthcare, and transport service during the lockdown. Factories and ports were forced to stop or halt its service because it was considered as non-essential service to the economy. With the worldwide lockdown of states and towns during the period of COVID-19, it resulted in a lack of manpower available to unload and return containers on time. The impact it has on operation is that with the ocean liner company having to increase the charges imposed on companies for the late returning of container recently, they also shortened the period that LeCharco is allowed to hold on to the container. LeCharco warehouse operation will then be required to unload containers they have on hand as soon as possible in order not to face any charges. Nonetheless, the warehouse is not equipped with the necessary storage available for the unloaded goods and hence may face difficulties in doing so. Thank you, and I'll pass the time on to Pingting to touch on the manpower crunch and delay payment from customer.
For the manpower crunch is affected by COVID. The government enacted some rules and regulations to bring overall automation down. If the employees who contract COVID or has come into close contact with a patient are required to quarantine. Essentially, the less contact people have with each other, the less the virus can spread. With the initial COVID situations, the government has to cancel and reduce flight frequencies, and specific transit is allowed. Those travelers have to ensure their transit is approved by the airlines if they wish to transit through Singapore. The lack of manpower brings the impacts on operations, financials, and human resources in these cargo groups. The restrictions of flights limits the populations of foreign laborers. In these cargoes, there is insufficient laborers in the warehouse to undertake the daily operations process in a timely manner. This happens to all companies all over the countries too, as there is a surge in the demand of the labor market. This cargo would have to suffer a higher cost and long training times on the temporary or new local workers. For delayed payment from customers, this cargo is unable to respond on time to the customer due to all procedural methods. The employees has to do many manual intensive procedures to send to the customers. This includes replying to the customers' inquiries, generating the invoice to the customers, doing the administrative jobs, and so on. Many manual intensive procedures may result in the corrections of late payments from the customers. With a strong incoming cash flows, it impacts these cargo's ability to pay their supplier as well as covering their operations expenses. If it is continuous, this cargo will be unable to maintain staff and operations, supplier disruptions, and access to raw materials and so on. On the other hand, when their KPI are unable to meet, their overall performance will be affected and the employees will have lesser welfare and bonus given by the company.
Hi, I'm Joshua. I'll be covering the recommendation for the first and second operation management issues faced by Lechaco. Based on what Maven had shared previously, because of the pandemic, to obtain a container space will be very challenging, as a lot of company is fighting for a container space to ship their goods. So the solution for the lack of containers, we have provided the following recommendations that we think that it can help Lechaco to alleviate their current operation pain point and issues. Firstly, it is to consolidate all the smaller shipments into one full container load before shipping out, especially for shipments to the same country. Secondly, Lechaco can source for containers from more than one ocean liner through multiple sourcing method. This can be used as a diversification rather than relying on one ocean liner for container space. Thirdly, Lechaco should work with their customers to know which shipments are critical to the customers, then rank the container loading by priority, and come out with a priority loading list. With the priority loading list, Lechaco may arrange for possible freight based on the list itself, such as using fast boat containers and air freight to reduce the lead time for the critical shipments. Lastly, Lechaco can secure the container space by pre-booking with their ocean liner or even set up special contracts with their ocean liners to reserve a certain number of container space that Lechaco's customer will ship frequently. So, why do we think that consolidation is a good solution? Firstly, it always ensures that the container space is fully utilized, and this helps to save on the transport and freight cost. And Lechaco can ship different items into one container to a single point of delivery, and it will require lesser shipping documents as all the items shipped will be listed in one single shipping document instead. And with lesser containers shipped out, Lechaco can save on carbon tax, and this can help Lechaco to bring down the cost and provide a better pricing for their customers. Multiple sourcing can provide better flexibility for Lechaco, as they can choose from many different ocean liner companies, and this also helps to reduce the reliance on a single ocean liner to provide shipping containers. And with more ocean liner companies to choose from, Lechaco will always have a choice to choose the ocean liner company that provide the best price and services. For the recommendation of the manpower shortage, firstly, Lechaco can consider cross-training of their employees. This ensures that there is always someone that can do another person's job during their absence. Secondly, Lechaco should work with more recruitment agencies to find manpower to work in the operation at a short notice. Thirdly, Singapore government has come up with initiatives during the pandemic that can help Lechaco with their manpower shortage, especially in the warehouse operation processes. Lastly, retaining of talent is the most important part. Lechaco can consider providing better compensation and benefit for their current employee. This will make the employee feel that the company appreciate their effort, as the employee may have take up extra or longer shift due to the lack of manpower. So now I'll pass on to the next speaker.
As previously shared by my team member, there is a delay in payments due to the use of traditional methods which require intensive manual labors. One solution we recommend will be the use of robotic automation. With robotic automation being used for the simple time-consuming manual labors, it improves efficiency for Lechaco by freeing time for the employees and allowing them to focus on more important tasks on hand. For example, the collection of payments. The next solution we recommend for solving the delayed payment issues would be implementing of an enterprise resource planning system, otherwise known as an ERP system, and the upskilling of current Lechaco employees. The ERP system will greatly benefit Lechaco as it assists the employee to efficiently and effectively plan their on-hand work schedule, allow them to prioritize the urgent important tasks on hand. Next, Lechaco will need to upskill their current employees. With the new automation ERP system implemented in Lechaco, employees will require the necessary skill sets to operate the system. With upscaling, Lechaco will not need to hire any new staff to operate the new system. This allows them to save time and money. These next few slides are the references we used for our project. Thank you all for your kind attention.